Right, Chelsea have 2 games left this season, 2 cup finals in my opinion, the first of which being away at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest. The winner of that match, if it's Chelsea anyway, will be guaranteed Champions League football. Obviously, if Nottingham Forest win, they've got a hope for other results to go their way, but it is in our hands. Win at Forest and it doesn't matter. No Villa, no one can catch Chelsea Football Club if we secure the 3 points. And therefore, myself and Josh Aveste, the big dog, will be live off of the channel for the last watch-along of the season when we take on Nottingham Forest. The second of those cup finals, just days later when we face Real Betis in the Europa Conference League final. Absolutely desperate for a win there. And our transfer business hinges massively on those 2 games, because if we don't win those 2 games, the targets that we might be realistically looking at may be very, very different to the targets that we may be looking at if we are able to get over the line in those 2 games and be able to offer players coming in Champions League football in their first season at Chelsea Football Club. The first time we'll have played Champions League football in around 3 seasons now. So absolutely desperate for us to get over the line in those 2 fixtures. But there is still a worst case scenario, and that worst case scenario is that Chelsea go into next season playing Conference League football once again. And obviously we have seen this season that our squad, I believe that, you know, our players individually are just way better than Conference League football. So hopefully we get over the line in that one, and therefore we can splash the cash a little bit. But regardless, rumours are circulating around Stamford Bridge with a whole number of transfer stories at the moment, both incomings and outgoings, and I'm going to give my thoughts on some of those today. But people, before we get into all that, welcome back to the Joey Knight podcast. Welcome to the first video in, I believe, 7 or 8 days. Probably the longest I've gone without posting for ages. And some of you lot, the hardcore, the fans that are viewing every single video, will know why. I obviously boxed on Misfits this weekend, just gone. Back to winning ways, got a win in that one, so very, very happy about that. And I will be dropping a video off of my boxing channel in the next couple of days where I watch back the fight, I give my thoughts on what's next, what went right, what went wrong, and all of that. But as for today, we need to speak about Chelsea, and my God, I've been holding it in. I've been bottling it up. I've needed to speak about this club, because not only did I win on Friday night, Chelsea battered Man United 1-0 in a very convincing performance, in my opinion. Watched it back, wasn't the best of Chelsea performances, but we got over the line, and that is what matters. But to dissect all of that and to speak about the upcoming game, I am going to be in the studio with the big dog, Josh Aveste, on Thursday. We will give our thoughts on all of that. But as for today, I want to speak about Chelsea's transfer business. As I say, hinges massively on us getting Champions League football, and therefore what names we'll go for, what names we might be able to attract. We already know we've got the likes of Esteval and a couple of others coming in this summer, which I'm really excited for. But when you look at teams like Liverpool, like Arsenal, like Manchester City, even going as far back as January, they had already started, to get their ducks in order and to get a first foot ahead for next season when it comes to their recruitment. Liverpool already splashing the cash this summer, making sure that Trent money that never actually came in gets spent. And obviously Arsenal doing the same. So Chelsea definitely need to be proactive rather than reactive in this transfer window if we are to make up ground on those teams next season. Which, listen, I believe is a little bit easier than some people actually think it's going to be. I don't think next season anyone's going to run away with this title. But in today's video, we're going to speak about the players that we may need coming through the door and we may need going out the door in able to be able to compete with those boys. So starting off, let's speak about the rumours that Arsenal are in for a couple of Chelsea players. Now, we've already heard that Arsenal are in the market for a striker. They're looking to be progressing with talks for Victor Gyökeres. That was a player that I had said I would very much have liked Chelsea Football Club to go and sign. It looks like Arsenal are going to get his signature. I think he'll be a success at Arsenal. Either way, Victor Gyökeres. Hopefully Chelsea can do something last minute, win the Conference League, qualify for the Champions League, and hijack a deal. Because if we can, that would be the man that I would be going for up top. But let's quickly speak about Arsenal because they're interested in a couple of Chelsea players, right? Good news is one of them's Nkunku. Bad news is none of them's Sterling. The other is Andre Santos. Now, Andre Santos to Arsenal. Of course Arsenal are interested. I think that most top clubs in European football would be interested in Andre Santos this season. Just made Ligue 1 team of the season, sorry. Real great player, Andre Santos. I think that if he comes back through the door at Chelsea Football Club next season, we're going to have another headache. Because the headache we've got on our hands at the minute was, how do we fit Enzo, Romeo Lavia, and Caicedo all into the same team? Well, that came at the sacrifice of Reece James, and now I think we've realised over the past few matches, you cannot be sacrificing your best player and club captain, sorry, my words are all over the place today, in Reece James, right? So, I think that when you look at that, and you look at the fact that we're going to have to find a way to get Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo and Romeo Lavia on the pitch if we want to be at our strongest and have our best players on the pitch, then chucking in Andre Santos to the mix does become a problem. It may be a problem that can be easily changed by a slight change of system, tweak of the system, or potentially just by moving Cole Palmer out wide more often. And I think that that's something that we may well have to do, because Andre Santos is a player that I am definitely not willing to let go of. I'm not willing to let him go to another Premier League club. I think it could be a Kevin De Bruyne moment all over again. And I'm definitely not willing to let him go to another London-based team. So we do not want to move Andre Santos in. We do also want to make sure he gets the right amount of game time. Romeo Lavia's injury record has been poor. On the whole, I think he's been really good when he's been here, but it's been poor. Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo have been available, so, you know, we've been very lucky to have them throughout the whole season, more or less this season. Enzo missed a bit of last season, but since coming to the club, both of their injury records have been very good. I don't want to wish against that, but listen, one injury to either of those boys and we would have had a very different season. I think everyone acknowledges that. So then we look at the fact that Romeo Lavia wasn't there a lot of time, Andre Santos. It's about being proactive rather than reactive. We need Andre Santos. We need him there. Trust me, there will be bookings, suspensions, there will be injuries next season. Andre Santos is a top-class midfielder, and that's what we need in reserve. We don't want the drop-off to be, and I'm sorry, I don't mean any offence here, but we don't want the drop-off to be Enzo Fernandez to Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. But before we get into all that, are you finding it difficult to make time for a balanced meal? Well, that is where Hule comes in. Hule is spelled Hule and is today's sponsor of the Joey Knight podcast. And the black edition, which I have got in my hand right now, is a meal in a bottle. It's got 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and it's low on sugar, and it's all in this one little bottle. And you know you can trust these guys because they have sold over 500 million meals already. You can find them in your local Tesco's, Sainsbury's, or at the Hule website itself. And for new customers shopping at Hule.com, you can try it with £10 off plus a free gift by just using my exclusive code JoeyKnight at Hule.com. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, time goes like that, especially in the morning. And all of a sudden, I need to be out the door. I have not got time to cook myself up an omelette or a breakfast. So I drink one of these bad boys in the safe state of mind, knowing I have just had a healthy meal. And the best part of it, trust me, I can vouch for it, they taste banging. The downside of these things is always that they don't taste very nice. This one literally just tastes like a chocolate milkshake. I wouldn't know the difference. And they've got loads of other flavours. Strawberry, banana, vanilla. They've even got iced latte. And every single one of those flavours is low in sugar. And lastly, Hule is incredibly affordable. It is a budget option if you need to get a quick meal on the go. So make sure you support the channel by supporting the guys who support us, and use my code Joey Knight at the checkout for £10 off and a free gift when you purchase your first Hule. Thank you very much to Hule for supporting the channel. Let's get back into the video. So that's what I'm saying. But Arsenal apparently do want to do some business still, and I'd be happy to let it get done, right? You lot tell me your thoughts on this, because a lot of people have different thoughts about selling on players to rivals, and I completely understand why you'd have those those reservations. But Nkunku to Arsenal, I don't care whether Arsenal take Nkunku. Do you care? I don't care. Do you care? Tell me, because I don't. I really don't care if Arsenal take Nkunku, the same way I didn't care this season when Arsenal took Sterling, because I don't think he's that good. And it's the same with Sterling. He hasn't proved to be that good there. And if he does prove to be all that good at Arsenal, right? If he does manage to do that, how many points better off are they going to be? Like, how many points better off do you think Arsenal are going to be next season than they are this season? Because I do think they'll be better off next season. I do think they'll come a lot more equipped next season than they did this season. Obviously, they've had injuries and whatnot, but who ain't? Do you know what I mean? So, I do think Arsenal will close the gap without Nkunku next season. So, even with him, what are they going to do? You know? Do I think Chelsea can go and win the league next season? Never say never, but I don't think we will. So, do I think Arsenal could? Yeah, they could. Could they even more than Nkunku? Yeah. But are we going to be direct competition for them to win the league? Or are we going to be managing Champions League football with still trying to be up there in the Premier League? And would I settle for another second season in a row in the Champions League spaces next season? Yeah, I would. I don't think Nkunku's going to make the difference to us. I don't think he's going to make the difference there. And we've got to look at the wage bill and the prices we can still get for some of these guys and try and bring some good money in. So, Nkunku to Arsenal, I'd be willing to do it. But you lot let me know your thoughts. I'm not that bothered. Now, obviously, with Arsenal in for Gyökeres, that could hamper any deal that they want to do for any other player. But let's say they do get Gyökeres. Now, Chelsea's other position we need to be looking at is number 9. Because I think that the defence, it hinges on whether we sell Trevor Chalobah or not. We'll have a little look at that. We may need someone in there. But I think that number 9's the other position where we haven't got anyone, right? Because goalkeeper's a position. But with goalkeeper, we have got Petrovic there. And I really rate Petrovic. I don't know why he's not, touted now to be coming back and having our number 1 spot, which he probably will be if Enzo Maresca gets a chance to look at him over the summer. I believe he's a better goalkeeper than Robert Sanchez, and I believe at this moment in time he's a better goalkeeper than Jorgensen. I think if you watch Ligue 1, not that I do a massive amount, but if you watch Ligue 1, Donnarumma probably better, yeah. But other than that, I can't think of many that have been better than Petrovic. So he's been a top-class goalkeeper in a top-5 European league this summer. That's better than what we've got there at the moment. So we will speak about a goalkeeper. But as for this moment in time, Petrovic would be my choice to come back. Cost no money, no-brainer. Then we look at number 9, which is where we need reinforcement. Because you look at the other positions, you might say a winger. Okay, but we've got Esteval coming in, and then other players can swap over where they play on that front line. We've seen it from Madueke this season. We've seen it from Pedro Neto this season. I'm so sure we'll be able to see it from other players, Tyreek George, etc. So I think we're fine there, to be honest, especially with Esteval coming in, who may be with us for the Club World Cup. You lot tell me if I'm wrong on that. But number 9's the position we need to look at. So then we look at the available names. Ollie Watkins is one of those names. He's 29 years old. I don't think the club will go for him, but I do think that Aston Villa need to sell for PSR, especially if they don't get into the Champions League. So, Ollie Watkins could be a name, Premier League proven. I don't even want to debate, is it at Chelsea level or whatever, because Aston Villa have finished ahead of us last season. And yeah, I mean, I look at him, Ollie Watkins, he might be a good one, but I don't know. He's not actually yet hit 20 goals in a Premier League season, has he? Benjamin Šeško is the one that's being sort of highly touted, because when you look at the other names, he's the next best one you'd think we could attract. Maybe. I don't know. 13 goals this season in 33 league appearances for Leipzig. Like, Nkunku was doing 20 a season. I think Werner was doing about 28 a season or something. Or did he do 28 goals in his last season there? So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know whether Benjamin Šeško excites me all that much. He's looked good in the Champions League when I've seen him, but he's also looked rubbish in a couple of matches as well. So, Vlahovic, I've been linked with him every summer for God knows how long. 13 goals in 33 league appearances in Serie A this season. Not a massive advocate for Vlahovic, but yeah, I don't know. And then Osimhen. And Osimhen's the one, isn't it, really, that we could go, okay, banker, guaranteed goals. Do you know what I mean? But is Victor Osimhen looking to come to a Chelsea football club? I don't know. I mean, he's just played last season for Galatasaray, and if we're in the Champions League, then you'd imagine so. But it's the wages. It looks like Osimhen's going to want, 300 grand a week or something for his next move? And I get that if we're able to offlay even the likes of Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell, right? And that's not because I don't want Chile, but it doesn't look like they want him, and I think we've got probably the best left back in the league in Cucurella. So there you go. So if we're able to get them two off the wage bill, then yes, that does free up a lot of the salary, especially then if you're able to get the likes of João Felix, Nkunku, other names off of that wage bill, which are being paid well, then yeah, we could maybe free up the wages, but then it's about what it does to the wage structure, because this board have shown that they'd rather spend those wages across 10 players than on one that is here for the here and now of delivering. So I'm trying to think realistic here. Yeah, I don't know. I'd still be hoping that Arsenal fumble on the Gyökeres deal, and then we can go in for him. But you let me know your thoughts on that one. Other rumours coming out are that Chelsea may be interested in Emi Martinez. Again, I've already given my thoughts on Petrovic. I think Petrovic, is a top-class goalkeeper. So, giving my thoughts on him, I already feel like he could be set to come in and be our number one. Now, whether he was our number one or not, is he a better goalkeeper than Emi Martinez? No, you'd have to say not, because Emi Martinez is Premier League proven over more seasons than Petrovic's sort of half a season where he was Premier League proven. He did do well, but Emi Martinez has done better than well. He's won a World Cup. So, Emi Martinez definitely an option if he was on the market. I would definitely go and sign him. But, I don't know. I do think it'd give us probably, a top 3 in the league goalkeeper, if you're going on form at the moment. He's up there, Araya and Alisson, I suppose, Edison as well. But yeah, he's a top goalkeeper, Emi Martinez. It could only improve us to have him, but I don't know. You lot, let me know your thoughts on the rumours that I've spoke about today. As I say, I'll be back in the studio with Josh on Thursday. So we get an episode up on Thursday where we preview the Nottingham Forest game. But we're also going to do like end of season awards, loads of stuff that we've got planned for the next coming couple of weeks. And then remember, we're into the Club World Cup. So sorry that I wasn't here and that I wasn't uploading off the channel for a little bit. I know I've had loads of you message me saying we need your thoughts on the Man United game, this and that. But yeah, it was important for me after having the fight to just have a couple of days just with my daughter, with my family, and just chill for a little bit, because we've been absolutely smashing the life out of it for months, and then doing it at the same time as training so hard for this fight. Like, this fight meant everything to me. I was so fixated on the fact that I couldn't take another loss. Do you know what I mean? Because another loss and then I'm in no man's land. Like, I'm in the who needs him club. No point fighting me because I've lost a couple of times and I'm still dangerous. But luckily we got a win. So now good things are on the horizon. But either way, I've missed speaking to you lot, and I'll get back to you all very soon if I can. If not, let me know your thoughts on the video. Smash a like on it if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one.